Hello, my name is Matthew Hughes. I'm here to do my living history speech. I did my speech on the oil crisis in the 1970s, and I interviewed my father, who lived during the time, and he was in his late 20s. Imagine having your kids in your car, it's loaded up, got all your suitcases, all your sand toys, everything's ready to go, going to the beach for the family trip. Everybody likes to do that every year. Take off from your house, leave, go down to the gas station. When you get to the gas station attendant's got a sign on the pump says, "No gas today, not for 3 more days." Now, we wouldn't think of this happening today, but during the oil embargo of the 1970s, this is exactly what happened to families. And I'm going to discuss the causes of the fuel shortage, what it was like to live through it, and the future possibility of another oil crisis. Okay, one of the causes of the oil crisis, the United States consumption for oil far exceeded its supply back in the 70s. At that time, we started to use more oil than we could produce, so we had to start going to foreign oils. Now, the Nixon administration actually set limits on how much foreign oil we could buy from people in OPEC and other countries. Well, this made the Middle Eastern countries very upset. So they actually used the oil that they supplied us with as a political weapon against the United States. They knew we needed the oil, and we did, because we were using more than we actually had or could make. And during the Yom Kippur War, the OPEC actually drove up prices and everything else, trying to force the United States not to give aid to Israel that was fighting against Arab nations during the Yom Kippur War. What was it like to live during the oil crisis? This is when my interview with my father came in hand. He said the inconvenience was just outrageous. Now people go to the gas pump, slide their car, they ain't got to go inside anymore to pay for it. Then, during this crisis, you had to wait in line for hours just to get gas. And then if you did get gas, you only got a couple dollars worth. Maybe just enough to keep you going back and forth to work or to school, whatever you needed to. You only had to could do that every couple days. And a lot of people didn't know about it, but the supply of fuel oils for heating up north was a big issue. A lot of families up north and people in Canada and parts like that, they fired their home's heating unit with heating oils. Well, during this embargo, there wasn't no oil, or there was limited amounts, so people were having a hard time keeping their houses heated during the winter. Well, that's a huge inconvenience. I mean, imagine being at home right now, it gets real cold at night, you got the heat on. Well, just because you couldn't buy gas that week to buy fuel for your heating unit, you don't have no heat. Huge inconvenience. And monetary. There's a huge expense on people. At the time when it first started out, my dad said that gas was about, 33 cents a gallon, that's what he said. Before it was all over with, it already went up to over $1. Well, people think, well, $1 of gas, that's not bad. But we're used to paying 33, 35 cents a gallon. That's a huge jump. Huge jump. I actually have some slides here of what it was like during the 1970 oil crisis for the people that had to live through it. How they only could get $3. Some days they were closed. The long lines, even people that needed to do the yard maintenance couldn't get gas. This right here shows the United States as a giant pig sucking up all the oil they could possibly get because we did so much. Days when they were just completely sold out. The lines like this to every gas station across the nation. Now, the future possibility of another oil crisis, that's another thing I'd like to touch upon. Our reliance on non-renewable resources is amazing. Not just on oil, but most of the power grid of the United States is actually run off coal, another non-renewable resource. So we have coal heating, keeping the lights on, and we have foreign oil keeping our cars going. If we keep going like this, there's no way we can keep doing it. We need to research alternate fuel resources. We need to get into biofuels, hydrogen fuel cell cars, hybrids. this is where we need to be going now. Because in closing, 1970 fuel crisis was a huge inconvenience and strained financially the American people. But if we continue to use non-renewable resources, another oil crisis is not a possibility. It's going to happen. And it's going to happen soon. Thank you very much.